Meatballs in a heat wave. It feels like it's slightly cooling down in the 90s, but it was very close to 100 for a few days, which is hot, hot, hot for us in New England. So today I had the oven and the air conditioner running in the same room, which is so weird. Such a massive use of energy. And I don't usually cook things that are hot when the weather's like this. But I did, and not exactly by choice. I chose to make meatballs in this heat wave, but that's because somebody left the freezer open. It was open for actually over 24 hours in nearly 100-degree weather. And we ended up with a lot of thawed food, which was a huge bummer. I just literally stocked the freezer for summer. So, and when you're living paycheck to paycheck, a freezer full of raw food throws a lot of curveballs into the game. So we had to toss a whole bunch into the trash. And I've been eating things we've all been eating things we don't want for a few days. And I've gotten creative under the pressure. We've gotten creative to make the most of a less than desired situation. And this evening, I made 5 pounds of meatballs to be refrozen for future meals. So there's so many things that I could write about from this situation, but the biggest hurdle I overcame was letting go. Always a big one for me. And there was absolutely nothing I could do about what happened, so I focused my energy where it was better served. Recognizing that in the big picture, this was a little problem, focusing on solutions, feeling the feelings and letting them pass, and believing that everything does happen for a reason. So I still don't know what the reason was here, but some really great things have come out of it. So in my life coaching work, I help my clients focus on forward momentum, and we lean into our why word. And I use both questions and affirmations to trigger next actions that are in alignment with their why word. And I also use this method to coach myself through things like a freezer full of raw food. And it looks something like this. So the first question I asked is, what's the thought I'm having about this situation? And to be honest, the first thought we were both thinking was, we can't afford this kind of loss in groceries. Like this is a punch in the gut to the budget. Which is funny because our podcast this week was about money and budgeting. Da, da, da. Interesting. So then I ask, is this thought in alignment with my why word? And the answer is no. My why word is growth, and freaking out about the expense of losing groceries is not helping me grow in any way. Then I ask, based on my why word, what do I know to be true that would serve me to think about instead? And so the thought that I came up with was, I can choose to release my frustration and grow, or harbor my frustration and feel yucky. So you can probably guess what I chose. And then I also like to come up with a why question. So a why word question that I can ask that might trigger a next action. Something I feel good about. So here I asked myself, if I choose to grow, what would I do next? If I chose to grow, what would I do next? And then I simply ask, what's my next action? So my next action in this case was making meatballs in the heat wave. And this actually means that the next time we eat meatballs, which are my son's favorite food, it will be from local grass-fed meat instead of prepackaged mystery meat, which we had gotten into the habit of buying. So in the end, what I know so far is that my dog got some really great food because we were able to use some of the things in the freezer to make dog food for her. Fruits and veggies, and actually some chicken that had been thawed, but I didn't want to refreeze it because it messes with the texture. So a couple good things came from this so far. I'm not sure they were worth throwing so much food away, but we'll see what happens next. And basically, I used my why word to lean into something that was not so good. and I feel so much better, and it tastes yummy for us and the pup. So we're going to call it a win at this point. And until next week, who knows what will arise. Program. You can find a link to that on the website. You can also listen to our co-hosted podcast, Creating Wealth and Wellness, free on iTunes or here on the website. And if you're interested in building residual income, check out the Join Our Networking Family link. Until next time, keep doing that thought work. I believe in you.